Hey, what's up, fam? So now that we have not only a confirmation for a fairy tale sequel manga, but also a date given of when it's going to come out, that being this month, July 25th, and is going to take place immediately after chapter 545 left off. And so I wanted to run a theory of what I think could happen post Post-Acnologia world in fairy tale. I say in my theory videos, this is all theory. This is just an idea. I'm not going to claim like I have some super proof or evidence of why I believe this. This is just purely a theory of what could happen. So after thinking over multiple things where the plot could go, what I think would be the coolest, given previous information, is Irene lived for hundreds of years without Acnologia finding her. We know this. We know that she was alive. We know that even though, even in human form, or not even full dragons like dragon slayers, Acnologia seemingly can smell them from anywhere in the world. But with Irene, there seemed to have been some form of magic or ability to, maybe mask her scent or make it so he couldn't smell her. I imagine as a dragon, knowing that their sense of smell is extremely high, extremely powerful, that would be the first thing really that she would probably think of how he'd find her. Maybe there are a couple other dragons around the world that have done the same thing. Now what they could do is say there's 15 dragons that were doing the same thing Irene did and were just kind of hiding out, keeping a low profile, and trying not to get killed by Acnologia. They don't have to be legendary tier dragons. Maybe there's a couple in there that are pretty significant, but say that there's 15 dragons left in the world. So Acnologia, dies at the end of the series, and these dragons no longer have to go into hiding. Now, what they could do that I think would be really cool is if is kind of like how in the real world countries have, this is that race to get like whatever the big weapon is. Like right now, obviously it's nuclear weapons. They could do that in fairy tale with dragons. It could be like a country is able to sit up on its level of strength. Maybe not just country, maybe the whole continent. Maybe they introduce a couple of continents besides Ishgal and Aracatasia, and maybe they split up a couple dragons for each of them, and it becomes kind of like the equivalent to an arms race with dragons and maybe even dragon slayers. So you could have this boom of new dragon slayers. Maybe it could take place further in the future and be more centered around at some point be centered around a next kind of like a next age Dragon Slayer, and then all the ones from the original series are kind of like the legendary people that they talk about and they look up to and hype up. There's a lot of stuff that you do, but I think it would be really cool if it was kind of like this arms race to get dragons, and countries kind of valued their strength level when it came to how many dragons they had, what was their backing with it. And it wouldn't even just be, it could just be by number or by dragon quality. They could do a lot of stuff, but like I said, this is just a theory. This is just something that I think could happen, not something that I think will happen. There's a huge possibility of ways that Hiroshima could take the series, but I just think it's a cool idea, given a couple things that we do know. And I think one of the things that Fairy Tail kind of dropped the ball on, and as of right now they might change it in the sequel, is you don't get to see enough of dragons doing stuff, because they're way more significant in Fairy Tail than they were in any of these other works. I mean, Rave Master dragons were pretty strong, but not even to the caliber of they were in Fairy Tale. In Fairy Tale, they were uh, literally living like country levels of power. You know, they could show up somewhere and wipe out a nation within a day if they so pleased. And that's just one of the things I thought think that they could really improve on this series overall, especially now post Acnologia. That you could have all these new dragons is you have all these guys. You could have new designs, bring in elements that we didn't get to see on dragons in the original story, and show like their strength, their skills, and what exactly could made the dragons so horrendously significant. Though we saw dragons like Igneel and Acnologia, how powerful they were. That they were for the most part the top dragons that we know of. We never really got to see just like run of the mill dragons or just like a large scale really of the dragon's strength. And I think that's something, like I said, that it could really help the series overall, and kind of help it in a sense of where everything was laid out, instead of just seeing where the top was for the dragons, seeing how where they were on a much rounder scale. But like I said, it's there's a bunch of stuff that could happen. This is just what I would like to see happen. But whatever does happen, I'll probably be I'll more than likely be accepting of whatever plot comes with this 100-year quest, and then whatever follows up beyond that. But otherwise, thank you very much. If you have a theory, put it in the comments. I want to hear everybody else's theories. You could have your own crazy theory of anything can happen. That's cool. I'll read that too, and even if it's something silly and just trying to fuck with me, or if you want to say like I remember these few things, this could happen and this could happen, and then I can say, oh yeah, that actually could work. That makes sense. But otherwise, tell me about what you think about my theory. Maybe check out my other videos. I do reviews on manga, some comics, news within the manga and anime world, and for the most part, I cover Hiro Mishima content, Fairy Tale Rave Master. Well, technically Rave Master, if there ever is going to be a Rave Master news again, but Fairy Tale and Eden Zero really right now, as well as some other big shonen stuff like Black Clover and My Hero Academia. But yeah, otherwise, thank you very much and have a good day. And I hope that I have earned a thumbs up, maybe a subscription, or at the very least a comment.